Welcome everyone to German Tool Reviews. Today we have the well-awaited Wera Advent 2017 calendar. The Wera Advent Calendar has become a yearly tradition where they offer a complete toolkit that is provisioned behind the 24 doors within the calendar. First, let's talk about the actual calendar itself. When you get it, it is shipped in a protective box that replicates the design of the calendar on the front and shows the contents of the eventual toolkit on the back. The dimensions of the calendar come in at around 560 millimeters or 22 inches in width and 450 millimeters or 17.7 inches in height. On the rear of the calendar, there are several QA codes that can be scanned to get additional information on some of Wera's product lines. Most of these are not part of the contents included with this set though. There are two ways to mount the calendar. One is to put two screws on a wall and hang it from the punch-out hooks in the back of the unit. The other is to fold out the built-in stand and use it on a tabletop. Once that built-in stand is folded out, it will sit at around a 15-degree angle. The tradition of the Advent calendar is to open one door each day of the Advent season to reveal one or more items. The first door that you open will contain a soft case that is used to store the remainder of the tools in the set. After you open the door, you can close that particular day back again to maintain the resemblance of the original illustration. One thing I do like is how the order of the days is quite random, so it does take you a couple of seconds to hunt out the day you want to open, which makes it quite fun. As you remove the items from each day, they can of course be stored in the tool holder opened on day one. The order that the tools appear in sequence matches pretty closely to a reasonable methodology of populating the tool holder. I won't open all the doors here in this review, as some people would like for this to remain a surprise, but I will say that each of the components of the tool set is secured behind the doors in plastic such that you won't have to worry about them moving around during transport. Some days you will get two items, while others you will just get a single component. I actually think you could reuse this calendar for other things in the future. It looks like there will be enough room behind each door to put things like candy if you ever want to reuse it next year. Once all of your doors are open, you have a fully populated tool set. Now let's get into the review for that tool set. First thing I noticed right off the bat is that there were some improvements made to the soft case since the previous incarnations. The biggest change I see here is that they changed the socket storage system to use a more mechanical locking system. That's definitely an improvement over the old friction fit system. When I reviewed this original Wera Cyclops set, one of my comments was that it felt like the socket holders would wear out over time, because each time you remove the socket, you're essentially wearing away the tabs that used to hold it. It would get to the point where they wouldn't stay in place anymore. So it looks like the Wera engineers came up with a socket holder that requires a very small turn to lock it in place. It feels like it is only about a 1/16th of a turn. And if you remember, one of my other complaints was the lack of visibility into the bits when they were inserted into the sleeve. If someone told you to grab the TX20 bit, would you be able to pick it out from the ones in the old style holder on the first try? I'm probably not lucky enough to do that. So it looks like their solution was to add some markers to the shafts of each of the bits so that you can more easily identify it when it is in the holder. I really like how they took the time to use different color labels to represent the different bit styles. We'll have a closer look at those labels in a bit. On this new set, I can easily grab the TX20 bit because I know Torx bits have green labels, so I just look for 20 and pull it out. Now looking at the sockets, I can see a couple of minor differences from some earlier Wera sockets I own. The first being the color coding that was added to the ring around the socket. It appears to be paint, but I really can't be sure of that. It also looks like they have changed their manufacturing process with the square now broached all the way through. The Wera sockets are made in Taiwan, so I'm guessing that they subcontracted out to possibly two different manufacturers who employed two different methods for producing a socket that met Wera's specifications. Moving on, let's take a look at the 1/4-inch bits included with the set. All of the bits are from Wera's bitorsion series that contain two torsion zones that are designed to permit a phased yield when under strain. This is often done on impact bits to increase longevity of the bit. However, I don't believe these bits are rated for impact tools. As mentioned before, each of these has a color-coded sleeve that is used to identify the driver tip style. They appear to be heat shrunk onto the shaft, with it being a hard plastic and not something that would rub off easily. Going through the bits included with this set, the yellow sleeve indicates a slotted tip style in which only a single bit was included, a 5.5 by 0.8 millimeters. The blue sleeves are the hex bits with the hex plus profile and include a 4 and 5 millimeter. The green sleeves are standard Torx bits with a T10, T15, T20, T25, and T30 included. Posi drive is identified with a black sleeve, with the number 1 and number 2 sizes included. The last type is the Phillips drive, identified by a red sleeve with the number 1 and number 2 size included. The final 1/4-inch drive bit included is the 870/1 adapter that allows a 1/4-inch drive sockets to be used. Another tool included with the set is this 870/W L-shaped 1/4-inch adapter. This must be a new tool from Wera because I couldn't find any additional information on it in their catalog. The description on the back of the box lists it as an offset screwdriver, On the short end, it contains a 1/4-inch square adapter, and on the longer end, a 1/4-inch hex. I'm guessing the 1/4-inch hex is to be inserted into the 1/4-inch bit holder, but it did not have any of the locking notches that you normally see in a 1/4-inch bit. The Wera sockets do have a strange fit on the 1/4-inch square drives included with this kit. It is almost like the detent for the ball is a little too close to the end of the socket, as you can put the square in a bit further before it snaps back to the detent. I tried a couple of other sockets with the same square, and I didn't see this issue. I don't think it's really a problem functionally, it just feels a bit strange when you have a socket that's moving around like that. It just doesn't feel very secure. I did try both the old and new versions of the Wera sockets and saw the same thing. That might be something to investigate in the future. Moving on to the 815R bit holder. This has the familiar Craftform handle style along with a positive locking 1/4-inch bit holder. For comparison of this handle size, the handle on the top is a regular sized Craftform handle, and the smallest handle on the bottom is from the ToolCheck Plus set. As you can see, this handle falls somewhere in the middle. It is just over 100 millimeters from the top of the bit holder to the end of the handle. This is a positive locking bit holder, meaning action must be taken to release the bit once it is locked in place. The bit holder can be used in conjunction with the square adapter and the sockets to turn it into a nut driver, but the most likely use is with the 1/4-inch drive bits. Now for probably the coolest tool in the kit, the 822 Craftform micro bit holder. This is a magnetic bit holder that is used with the micro vario bits that are included with the set. This is also a product I haven't yet seen before. Out of all the tools in the set, this one feels like the one that I would get the most use out of. These small bits use a 4mm hex drive. I know VHA also has a line of 4mm micro bits, which as far as I know should be compatible with this bit driver. The bits included are the following: a 1.5 and 2.0mm hex drive, a Torx T5 and T6, a Phillips number 0 and number 00, a slotted 1.5 by 0.23 millimeters, and a 2.5 by 0.4 millimeters. A quick mention on these Phillips micro bits. When I first looked at these, I thought maybe somebody at Wera misstamped these because it appears that the number 00 is bigger than the number 0 drive. However, it looks like the actual tip size on the one labeled number 0 is bigger than the one labeled number 00. The reason it looks so strange to me is that the diameter of the bits does not correspond to the size of the tip. I didn't have any number 00 Phillips screws handy to try this out, but that might be something to look at in the future. A note on the Velcro strip that was included in the first box along with the case. This strip is used so you can adhere it to a hard surface and then mount the case on it. The case can also be used with the Wera To Go system, which allows the case to attach to some of their larger cases through the same hook and loop system. Even if you just buy the calendar just for the tools, it is still a great value if you compare it to the current cost of their normal Craftform soft case sets. Getting the calendar would just be a bonus at that point. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that look at the Wera 2017 Advent Calendar. Check out the link in the description to the full review. The KC Tool and Amazon affiliate links to this product are also in the description if you feel the urge to pick one up. Have a good week, and I'll catch you guys next time.